Sheffield Wednesday shared in a 6-goal thriller. Millwall won it 4-2. It didn't take them long to carry on where they left off. Teddy Sheringham had his first shot charged down. He looked to be pulled down following up, but Paul Stevenson was on the spot and Millwall were 1 up after just 47 seconds. But Wednesday have got the best league and cup record away from home in the country, and David Hirst, they've got a striker in the form of his life. And when John Harkes set him up 11 minutes later, Hirst's turn was perfect, his shot was unstoppable. Wednesday oozed class, none more so than John Sheridan. His inch-perfect pass setting up Carlton Palmer. Only Brian Horne's fingertips denied him a spectacular second. Horne did even better 3 minutes later to tip away Nigel Pearson's close-range effort, but he couldn't stop Trevor Francis putting Wednesday in front. But at the other end, Millwall's more direct approach had Wednesday consistently in trouble. 3 minutes before half-time, Alex Ray levelled it up. But if the Wednesday defence looked shaky, Millwall's was non-existent 10 minutes into the second half, as Pearson stabbed in Sheridan's low free kick to make it 3-2. Millwall had been hit by a sucker punch. It stung John Goodman into action. He shrugged off 3 tackles to set up Teddy Sheringham for his 20th goal of the season. Hirst went all out for his 22nd, when a square ball to Trevor Francis might have been better. But it looked as though he'd got away with it when Viv Anderson headed in his first goal in a Wednesday shirt just 3 minutes from time. Millwall, though, had scored in their first attack and they scored in their last. Again, Wednesday failed to clear. Alex Ray stuck out a foot to equalise and bring the curtain down on a cup tie that had just about everything.
2,000 West Ham fans made the trip from East London to Kenilworth Road, but early on it was First Division Luton who made the running. Number 7 Lars Elstrup's shot is charged down, and though David Priest does well to set him up again, the overworked West Ham defence survives. Chances few and far between, but no shortage of competitiveness. This little tete-a-tete earns Steve Williams and Ian Bishop a booking. Beaten 5-1 here in a cup tie last month, West Ham stunned Luton right on the interval. Stuart Slater's shot saved, but keeper Alex Chamberlain could do nothing about the rebound. And the man in the right place at the right time, fullback George Paris. Second half, Luton moved up a gear. Elstrup to Sean Farrell, but he shot just wide. Luton's Darren McDonough, though, was bang on target as he accidentally poleaxed Trevor Morley. Both players recovered, but moments later, West Ham suffered another blow as the free kick isn't cleared. Kingsley Black on hand to score, and Black perhaps relieved that Luton not on the end of a shock scoreline after all. Still, West Ham could have won it 2 minutes into injury time, and Frank McAvenny's header cleared off the line by substitute Jason Rees. Frantic stuff at the end as Slater shot straight at the keeper, but all square it finished, and the replay at Upton Park on Wednesday. Final score, Luton 1, West Ham 1.
Cambridge manager John Beck said this would be the toughest test his high-flying side had faced all season, and in the first half, well, it looked like an examination that they'd fail miserably. Middlesbrough were without top scorer Bernie Slaven, but they were playing controlled, fluent football, dissecting the Cambridge defence seemingly at will. John Hendry was making a right nuisance of himself out on the right flank. And the Cambridge keeper John Vaughan again kept his side in it when Robbie Mustoe broke clear. Mustoe will be tonight kicking himself all the way back to Teesside. Well, the Cambridge bench read the riot act at half-time and the effects were instantaneous. Dion Dublin's flick on, providing an opening for John Taylor. And then Taylor returning the compliment as Dublin shot just wide. The pressure was starting to tell on the Borough defence, and after 67 minutes, Taylor was left with a free header, and that lifted the roof clean off the Abbey Stadium. 10 minutes later, and it was 2-0. Dublin picking out Lee Philpott's break out on the left. He in turn then finding Taylor in space, and his delightful finish finally burying Borough. So, Cambridge United's love affair with the Cup continues. Quarter-finalists last year, the 5th round now this.
After a shaky start to the new year, Kenny Dalglish said he wanted more passion and commitment from his players. Early in the second half, there was no questioning Ian Rush's cup appetite. Barnes' through ball inch perfect, as was Rush's first touch, and Liverpool one up. Within seconds, Brighton, outclassed for much of the first half, could have levelled it. Mark Barham denied by Bruce Grobbelaar at his acrobatic best. And with Rush at his attacking best, a minute later, Liverpool looked in command. The Welsh international started the move, and when Barry Venison continued it, Rush timed his run to perfection for his 18th goal of the season. A typical piece of finishing from Rush, and at that stage, it looked as though Liverpool were well on course for round 5. Brighton were down, but not out. They needed a break, and 17 minutes from time, they got it. Small's flick on, Steve Staunton pulled down Paul McCarthy, and the referee pointed to the spot. Mike Small's penalty kick wasn't his best, but it was good enough to beat Grobbelaar. And Small and Brighton certainly weren't finished. 5 minutes later, the big striker headed across goal, and John Byrne headed in a dramatic equaliser. Brighton knocked Liverpool out of the FA Cup twice in the mid-80s. They tried to make it 3 in a row at the Goldstone grounds on Wednesday. Liverpool 2, Brighton 2.
Last year they won the cup playing away. This year they've been drawn at home, but Manchester United looked far from convincing against an enterprising Bolton side. Storer setting up Phyllis Kirk early on, but Seeley responding with a point-blank save. It wasn't until the second half that United finally started pulling themselves together. In the 79th minute, Lee Sharp out on the left, finding Mark Hughes, who in turn found a spectacular finish. More than a few blushes saved as Hughes scored his 8th goal in 6 games to put Manchester United into the 5th round of the Cup. Manchester United 1, Bolton 0. Not the best-tempered of cup ties at Carrow Road as First Division Norwich tackled Second Division Swindon. In fact, this tackle by Nesta Lorenzo after just 23 minutes rather set the tone. The referee deciding that was a professional foul, and Lorenzo receiving his marching orders. Swindon then down to 10 men, but after 50 minutes they actually took the lead. Steve White outpacing Ian Butterworth and scoring with some aplomb. 7 minutes later though, and 10 men became 9. John Gittings involved in an ugly clash with Norwich's Robert Fleck. And that was him dismissed too. Not surprisingly, that rather knocked the stuffing out of Swindon. A sloppy save from Freya Digby, allowing Dale Gordon to equalise with some panache after 63 minutes. Even then, it seems Swindon might hold out for the draw, but 5 minutes from time, substitute and Danish international Henrik Mortensen volleyed Norwich into the lead. And as if to add insult to injury, Mortensen then set up Robert Fleck to make it 3-1 in the final minute. Swindon's misery complete, Norwich 3, Swindon 1.
The South Coast derby between Portsmouth and Bournemouth was goalless until Pompey's Colin Clark stepped in just before half-time to give his side the lead. A sweet moment this for Clark, who used to play for Bournemouth. The second half, though, was the Guy Whittingham show. John Beresford with the cross and a neat shot on the turn by Whittingham. Pompey 2 up, but there was plenty more to celebrate. 14 minutes later, Clark with the flick on, Whittingham from close range. The former soldier right on target again. Bournemouth's hopes were raised briefly when substitute Wayne Faraday pulled one back for the third division side. But their joy didn't last, because from Steve Wigley's cross, Whittingham completed his second consecutive FA Cup hat-trick. 4-1 to Portsmouth, and the rout was completed by who else? That man Whittingham, capping a 40-yard run with a fine shot to leave Jerry Payton stranded. So 7 goals for Whittingham in 2 games in this year's Cup campaign. Portsmouth 5, Bournemouth 1. The shock of the day came at Gay Meadow, where struggling 3rd Division Shrewsbury put out the 1988 winners, Wimbledon. Dean Spink could have been the hero with some better finishing. In fact, the former Aston Villa striker could even have had a hat-trick, as the Wimbledon offside trap was continually sprung by a rampant Shrewsbury. The only goal came 7 minutes before half-time. It's Billy Askew with the cross and a precision finish from ex-Villa hero Gary Shaw. Shrewsbury 22nd in Division 3, 1. Wimbledon 7th in Division 1, 0.
Dixon. Thomas has done well, he's protected it. And Groves. Great save. Lovely move. Perry Groves getting a great ball pulled back, but it was an excellent save from the former Arsenal favourite, John Lukic. Fairclough is competing. McAllister chasing this one. Winterburn onto him. And McAllister's done a great job. Can he pick out anybody here? Oh, and the Chris Fairclough just over the bar. Great run by McAllister. Sterland. Beautifully hit. Difficult to tell from this angle how close that was. Forward goes Paul Davis. The flag is up over the far side.
Yeah, the flag's up, and this is the type of run though it takes, and you can see he's not offside. The linesman has got it wrong, Jerry. That should have stood. It's a late run from Paul Davis. He timed it to perfection, and it looks to me from that as if Arsenal have been robbed.
It's a useful ball to Chapman. Bold behind him. He's got support from Strachan. Strachan can cross it. It's a good one. And Pearson couldn't quite get there. McAllister! What a brilliant save from David Seaman.
Gaza, his second match back after suspension, and Oxford United Ken Vasey in goal, who's been on loan, made it permanent from Torquay this past week. Phillips, a veteran of their Milk Cup final success. And for Tottenham, of course, a crucial match. Robinson's throw is Foyle. Nogan's gone in behind him. Here he is. Good effort. And a fine save from Eric Torsbed, who got Tottenham out of a hole there. Nogan got clear, struck it well. Fine save. Foyle battling. Howells. Oh, it's a mistake by Melville, and Lineker chasing. He'll settle for the corner. "13 goals so far this season, Gary Lineker. Hasn't scored in the FA Cup, actually, since scoring for Everton in the '86 final against Liverpool. Here's Gascoigne. Full of tricks, nicely done. It's a good challenge. Oh, it'll come from Mabbott. He scored. Gary Mabbott. And Tottenham go in front. Created by Gascoigne and Gary Lineker. Spurs certainly got the rub of the green. But they lead. Logan away chasing. Torsved's come to meet him. Important challenge. Robinson again. Berlin's offside. rich vein of goal-scoring form at the moment, John Durnin. He wouldn't mind one now, I'm sure. Still 1-0 Tottenham. That early strike from Gary Mabbott. Gascoigne challenging. Oh, Lineker's away! Is it 2? Oh, yes! Absolutely no doubt about it. Well, if you give Gary Lineker that sort of room, he'll punish you. Gascoigne again involved. Foster, I think it was, playing Lineker onside. Oof, how about that? And this is the view that Ken Vasey had of it. Just a look from Lineker was enough. Bang. Robinson did well. Here's Les Phillips, Foster forward. Phillips again, this is nice stuff. Well, that'll be a free kick. Not sure why Howells was protesting. Nogan it was he caught. Now a chance for Oxford to shape something from the free kick. Situation actually that Gazza would like. He's in the middle of the wall there. Simpson over the ball. And Jim Maggleton. Oof, wasn't too far away. Howls of derision from the Tottenham support, but it was a good effort. Simpson was having a look at it. Maggleton took it. Naeem penalised. Foster with the free kick for Oxford, who trail by 2-0. Phillips in 2 and then out of trouble. He's done well. Oh, Foyle's in! 2-1. Nicely done. Martin Foyle, the scorer. A goal created by Les Phillips. They let him loose there. Howells lost him. And that's 2-1. It's a very sharp haircut, isn't it? In sharp contrast to Walsh's, who's away again. Couldn't quite screw it back enough. But it was an interesting little run by Paul Walsh. Difficult little player to shake off the ball. Here come Tottenham again. Stewart. Here's Paul Allen. They need support. Trying him again. And Gascoigne. Oh, this is a marvellous run. Had no right, Paul Gascoigne, to get through there. But typical of him. Marvellous jinking run. Great feet from Paul Gascoigne. What a pity that there was no end product. with the kick for Tottenham. Howells was the target. Lineker off the bar. Desperately unlucky. It's a lovely flighted cross. Got up well too. Nogan, who's been a thorn in Tottenham's side right from the start. Thought he maybe should have had a penalty. Howells has gone down, and that doesn't look too good. Well, obvious concern from Terry Venables. Nogan stretching. Well, plainly it wasn't a penalty, but not a sight we like to see in football. That's the end of David Howells for the afternoon. Steve Sedgley. Replacement for Howells. Stewart. Well, nowhere to go at the moment. Naeem. Allen. Now then, a buzz the moment he gets the ball. Gascoigne on another of those runs. Oh, I say, world class. Gascoigne absolutely delighted, and with good reason. Tottenham really had nowhere to go until he took control. First smile this week from Terry Venables. It was a marvellous goal. He'd posted warning really in the first half with a run not dissimilar to this. Well, he had no right, did he? Again. Welsh, good turn. Penalty? No, play waved on. Here's Welsh. Oh, side netting. Well, no complaints from Paul Walsh. David Axel was close enough. You sense that Oxford aren't finished yet. Simpson. Durnin in there, his foil, 3-2! And no more than they deserve. They've been prepared to play football all afternoon. Another very well-crafted goal. And Martin Foyle gets his second of the afternoon. So it isn't won yet by Tottenham. Walsh, twisting and turning. Here's Allen. Another corner for Tottenham. Who at times have been void of ideas. Gascoigne has been at the heart of everything that they've created, really. And here he is again. Foster got a foot in. Oh, Finnick read that well. Allen. A fourth surely would settle it. Oh, he's having a look. Gascoigne! That'll do! 2 for Paul Gascoigne. 4 for Tottenham, who are there now, surely. And you can sense the relief on the bench there. Alan was trying to work the space for a shot. Thought about it twice.
Crewe in red knocked out Rotherham with a goal from Craig Hignett. But if you're writing for tickets for the next round, don't claim to have been there the last time Crewe reached the last 16. It was 103 years ago. This week's tactical substitution prize goes to Manchester City. They sent on Clive Allen against Port Vale with the score at 1-1, and City in maroon waiting to take a corner.
Looks for the flick on, and it's there. Well, as a substitute, ever had more impact? It's his first touch of the ball. He's just come on, and Peter Reid got it dead right. Meanwhile,
Woking took their dreams to Goodison Park and preserved them for a glorious hour against Everton, who are in blue.
Cotty. Beautiful ball in. Sharp. Sheedy! The left foot of Kevin Sheedy has rescued Everton.
There was no way back, but the lads from the stockbroker belt left the field knowing that in years to come, Woking will be remembered beside Yeovil and Sutton and Blythe Spartans and the others who've spoken up for the underdog.